Hello and welcome to Fast Trax with me, Pete Tong, your weekly oral and visual dose of dance and electronica. We're back inside this week as the weather in the UK is so bad that we are not permitted to walk our streets. Let's kick off with this week's big video. I'm beside myself with pleasure when I hear that. This is Justice and Phantom, as remixed by Soulwax. The mighty Justice with Phantom and the absolutely awesome Soulwax remix. Time to get into the Bedroom Bedlam chart. This is where we feature your home productions, the tracks that you've been making in your bedroom, your garage, in your kitchen, wherever. Let's get into it. This is number 3 on this week's chart. Bedlam Bedroom chart number 3. We'll continue with that chart in just a moment after we've heard from Tom Middleton. He is a professor of dance music and he used to have quite a funky looking beard. Let's take a look at it now. Hi, I'm Tom Middleton in Shanghai. Got Sasha and Hi-Fi with me this weekend playing at the Smirnoff Experience. I got into DJing and producing way back in 1989, 1990. It was actually the Aphex Twin who was my teacher. We kind of were playing in a nightclub down in Cornwall. I found out that he was playing tapes of his music. Got chatting, he invited me back to his place, showed me the kit that he was using, and then eventually got around to producing and arranging the first track as Schizophrenia, my first pseudonym. And I helped get his release out on the Mighty Force Records label way back, 1990, Analog Bubble Bath EP. Classic now. Got a brand new compilation coming out at the end of January called 3D on Renaissance. This is a new series that they've launched. The first one was Faithless. Jeff from Renaissance gave me a call and said, do you want to do the next one? I was like, absolutely, definitely, I want to do this. The last time I did a compilation was Sound of the Cosmos way back in 2002, and other people have been asking me, when are you going to do the next Sound of the Cosmos? So for me, Renaissance 3D is almost like Sound of the Cosmos Part 2. Coming up this year, lots of things on, obviously. Renaissance 3D compilations coming out. I've already got live tracks out on Big Chill. I'm doing some more touring with that live with a band and the synchronized AV show, so look out for that. And what else have we got coming up? Possibly another 3 compilations, we'll have to see how it all pans out. There could be a sci-fi hi-fi on Soma, a Back in the Box for NRK, and a Big Chill Classics for the Big Chill. You can definitely catch me this summer playing live at the Big Chill with my band. More from Tom Middleton later in the show. Meanwhile, here is our Bedroom Bedlam chart number 2.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Oh, I do like the Bedroom Bedlam chart. This is where, of course, we attempt to make you a star. If you're making music at home, and if your mum likes it, if your friends like it, then I want to hear about it too. Send me a download link. The address is on the screen now. And just think, one day you could become Fedde Le Grand. This week's Upfront Tune, a bit of an exclusive on the brand new cut from Fedde Le Grand, the man who put his hands up for Detroit and told you to all go and think about it. Let's go back to Tom Middleton.
Hi, I'm Tom Middleton, here on Fast Trax. I've got a couple of little tips for budding bedroom producers out there. The first is, learn your roots. What I suggest is get some compilations of classic, vintage, soul, funk, disco, dub and reggae collections that have been used and sampled by dance artists. This will give you a really good foundation to learn the roots of dance music. There's a great series called Sampled, well worth checking out. You'll find all of the tracks, the last probably decade of dance music, all the original samples that were used in the big hits. You'll find them in their original form and it'll give you a really good idea of how producers such as Basement Jaxx, Chemical Brothers, Prodigy have taken samples and turned them into big dance anthems. For 2008, my hot tip is an amazing producer called John Hopkins. Last year, he produced some of the most stunning work on his Contact Note album, Second Sense being possibly my favourite electronic track ever made. He also did an incredible bit of production work on King Creosote's debut album. Now, the other thing that a lot of people know about is that he's been poached by Brian Eno himself to help produce Coldplay's new album. So for me, the top tip for 2008 is John Hopkins, co-producing with Brian Eno, Coldplay's new album.
Time now to reveal this week's number one on the Bedroom Bedlam chart. In fact, we did play this last week, but so many of you text in giving positive reactions to it that it's moved to number one. This is Philip the Freak and Rock Some Beats.
We got a hit record.
Number one on this week's chart, up from last week's number two, Philip Le Freak and Rock Some Beats. It was all down to your voting. And if you fancy downloading that track, then visit our new website at fasttrax.tv. The details are on the screen now. If you're feeling any of those tunes, then text me about it. Let me hear what you think about it, as Fedde Le Grand would say. And if you do, each and every week we pick one of you and give you a rather lovely prize. This week up for grabs, you +3 on the door at Leeds University to see the Audio Bullies at Filth on Saturday the 10th of February, okay? That's door love for you +3. That's it for this week's show. I'm off to Brazil for some carnival shenanigans and I'll be asking a good friend of mine to host next week's programme, so watch this space. Until then, see ya.